Hello and welcome to a Loree design demo. I will be walking yourselves through this today. My name is Adina and I am the product owner of Loree. I wanted to kick off the demo by just quickly flicking through a couple of pages and a couple of different designs that you can create yourselves using Loree. This here is just an example of a module overview page. The subject matter is just placeholder copy, essentially, just to give you an idea of some of the different things that you can pop into your templates and some of the different elements. We'll flick through a couple of different styles to start, then I'll dive on in and open the editor and begin to show you how you can create this content yourselves. This here is an example of a content page. You can see we've introduced a quick little navigation across the top. We're utilizing the concept of multiple column designs. We have images applied. You can see we have some drop shadow, styling, headers, text, fine little borders. There's also a call to action section at the bottom, and this has been built leveraging Loree icons and then text and colors as well. This here is an example of what you might see potentially as a course home page. In this instance, we're welcoming learners to a science page. Again, a different approach to a quick navigation element there with almost the look of buttons. You've got text and video, multi-column design again, entire sections with applied background colors, text items that can be linked to navigate learners to particular areas, and again, a multi-column section here. This page is a little bit different, potentially something that you might see on a website, if you will. We've got our sort of hero banner at the top, navigation. You can see this particular navigation here also includes an icon, which is one of the available styles there ready to use and play with. You can see we've gone for a multi-column design here. We've got images, text, we've got links to articles for the learners to continue to, I guess, read that information if available on, let's say, an school intranet space or an external source or link, if you will. And you can see we just continue to play here with some of those different items that you can do. We've got icons, text, we have highlighting particular areas to draw attention. You can see we support bullets with both numbers and also with text characters and then dots and squares as well. Again, another home page sample or example here, banners, text, headers, and you can see along the bottom here we've created almost like a tiled view that helps navigate potentially a younger learner. This could be something that you use within the K-12 space, clearly to particular course areas that you want them to easily find and navigate to. And another example here, this is something that you might present in, let's say, a resource page or a resource center section of a course. Clear visual aids, icons, colors, then also an example of how you might leverage blocks and icons to create areas that we do not want learners to miss within a page. Now that we've just walked through a couple of examples, please note you will have access to all of these. They're available as part of our free template pack that we give all of our users so that when you start your journey with Loree Design, you are not beginning from scratch. I'm going to dive on in now, open a page within Canvas and launch the editor, and we'll start to explore how you might create some of these elements on your own. Loree is available via the left-hand navigation. It is an LTI 1.3 tool. It can be configured directly within your Canvas environment. I'm going to go ahead and launch Loree here. What I'm going to do in parallel is open a separate tab here, one that is going to show that view within Canvas natively. So you can see the modules pages there. Over here in Loree, you may notice that it reflects that view we see in Canvas. I'm going to collapse my little left-hand navigation so that I've got a wider space here to work with. Within Loree, you can go ahead and actually create modules as part of this workflow. You can add already existing pages to existing modules. You can create new pages. You can also go ahead and insert new pages from Loree templates. And this is a really great way to go ahead and create a module by selecting 5, let's say, or more or less predetermined templates, hitting create, and then going in and editing those individual pages. So it almost lets you kind of build a module structure with the selection of predetermined and pre-shared templates with yourself as a user. You will notice that the default view is modules, as I've touched on. You can, of course, via this little drop down, navigate direct to pages. You can edit the introductions of assignments, discussions, and of course the course syllabus page. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to a page now and we'll start building. We're going to head on over to Smooth Sailing. This content is already available within Canvas natively. And I often get asked this question: what happens if I already have existing content, text, tables, images, videos, potentially embedded third-party tools? What will happen when I open this with Loree, and can I continue to edit these items? And the answer is yes. Loree has almost what we refer to as a backwards compatibility, whereby if you've built a table using the rich content editor, you can continue to open and edit that within Loree and vice versa. You'll be able to continue to edit images, videos, what have you. All right, let's dive on into the editor. So the first thing I always love to do is turn on my outlines. I'm a little bit old school. I need to see everything that I'm working with. So you can see here that we've got a header, we've got some text, and the first thing that Loree does when you open already existing content, it essentially pops Loree wrappers around these items. So it's identified this particular section as a header, this as text. This is now placed within a Loree column and a Loree row structure. You can continue to manipulate this particular content here as is. Let's say I'm happy with the text, but what I want to do is go ahead and make this a multi-column design. I can select edit row, I can select a 2-column row, and I can go ahead and update this. So I can say I want to make this a 60-40. The text that's available is going to scale automatically for you in the 60 side. Over in the 40 section, I can go ahead and add an image if I so wish to. Note we populate that with a placeholder. You can then double select the image, and that's going to present you with a view to pick and choose your own new item. We fetch and display course images, so these are all the images that are available within the course already. We can show and navigate users to their own user images. Loree Images is a place that essentially houses collectively all of the images that have been shared within and amongst templates. And then we have our icon library as well. Hundreds of icons that users can search through and then use within their designs. In this instance, I do want to select a course image. I'm going to go ahead and select my digital library image here. Now, note that we have items like alt text for images, title, attributes for video, captions for tables, color contrast rules built in, and an accessibility checker and a hole within the application. Users can go ahead and select images, populate alt text, or they can, of course, tag things as decorative as well if they like. We're going to go ahead and add that image to replace our placeholder. There it is. So already the text that we started with, which was very simple and basic, is now a multi-column design with an image and text. We can go ahead and continue to add to this particular item. Let's say we want to introduce a little bit of a divider. We'll go just a line style. We can then select that item and note the little mini menu appears with an arrow, letting us know where we can move that to. So now right away, within the space of a couple of seconds, we've got a multi-column design. I'm going to go ahead and save to LMS. And you can see this is the content that we started with. I'll go ahead and refresh it. And this is what we've been able to do with Loree. Create a little bit of a multi-column design, add a line divider, what have you. That there, though, is not the real power of Loree. The real power of Loree is leveraging templates. Of course, you can build from scratch, edit existing content, manipulate it, place it into multi-column designs, apply background colors, styles, all that jazz. But really the true power of the application is the template functionality. Once users start to either develop their own template library or dabble with the ones that we make available for you, you will then start to be able to begin builds leveraging those templates. So in this instance, let's dive on into Loree templates as a first and showcase the power of Loree templates. I touched on before a couple of these examples saved and presented natively within Canvas. Note the little lightning bolt here, Loree templates. This is the pack that we provide to all of our users free off the bat. It gives you the opportunity to start with something so that you're never having to think of where to go from day dot. Note that I've got private templates here, shared templates, and global templates as well. Global are the pack of templates that you can create and have an admin user share across your entire institution. It's a really great way to help create that consistency across the board and ensure that all educators have access to the same templates so that no one particular user is disadvantaged. Once you start to build out your own library, you will have a private template library. You will see I have many templates in my library. This is quite literally all I do with my spare time, build templates. When we have this library available to us, we can then go ahead and kickstart a course by inserting one of these ready to go templates. I'm going to go ahead and insert this under my text that I've already got here. And if I want to now, what I can do is simply update the copy that I have available in my template with content that is relevant to my course. Note that the styles are going to be retained, however. So in this instance, I've got my digital literacy syllabus overview, and I may wish to go ahead and update that header here. There it is. In this particular item, I don't need this secondary header, so I can go ahead and select it and I can remove it. I can copy and paste content manually. Note the text editing appears in situ, or I can take each individual element and copy it on its own. I then can select a new column in which to paste it. There we go. And I can go ahead and move that around. So I may wish to say, you know what? I want this to be placed at the very top of this section. I don't need this particular item. I'm going to delete it. But what I do want to do is potentially leave these bullet points. They suit the way that I like to deliver my content, and I'm just going to update that placeholder text with content relevant to my course. So in this instance, this is going to be that second section I have there. Note that that will scale and resize for you. And my third section, I'm going to go ahead and place that as a second bullet. Note the style was dots. By default, I can go ahead and select that and I can update the style if I so wish to. So I've got a couple of different options available to me. I can do a disc if I like. Let's say I'm happy with that. I will proceed. Again, we support numbers and text and Roman numerals as well. Down here, what I can do now with these particular buttons that have already been pre-built and set for me is link that to areas within my course. I may wish to also introduce or place this image within my course down here, or potentially navigate this and make it a multi-column design. Again, I can do that by selecting the row itself. I can say I want this to be 2, and in this instance, I may go 60-40 again, or 70-30 if I so wish to. Then I can go ahead and move that image. I can select it, copy it, move it down here, paste it, or I could go ahead and go through the workflow of inserting an image from scratch if I chose to. Up here now, this particular row entirely is redundant. We've gone ahead and saved all that content. Elsewhere, we can go ahead, select and remove it, and note comfortably that we've got it within our template. Let's go back to linking. Linking can occur at an image, at a whole stretch of text, or at an individual word. When I select an icon, let's say this course navigation, you will note that a little mini menu appears with an insert icon option. Here we have the ability to link to already existing modules within the course. You can also link to pages, assignments, discussions, quizzes, announcements, course navigation items, and of course files. We support linking to external websites. We support anchoring as well, and also linking or creating a link that goes direct to an email mailbox. In this instance, what I may want to do is navigate to a direct page for a course overview, and I'm going to go ahead and select a page that I've already built in the past. Let's select this one here. Module overview, wonderful. And I'll apply the link. This icon has now been linked. You can select any of the icons that are pre-existing within a template and update that so that it potentially better reflects your course. You can see there's a bit of an adventure theme with this particular template. And so let's say you have another theme in mind. You can go ahead and double click any of these icons, navigate to the icons tab, and go ahead and pick something that better suits your style of delivery or overall look and feel. In that particular instance, there was a cottage icon which was used. I may want to go ahead and change that just to a straight, simple home icon so that it's really clear where to go. And again, I don't have that adventure theme. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Note that the previously set style, color, size, what have you, is applicable across the board. Say you find this particular icon as well isn't quite right for your course. Again, same workflow. Select the icon. We'll go ahead and start typing person. Happy with this sort of generic outline of a person. This is going to be my teacher icon. We'll go ahead and add that. If we want to go ahead and manipulate any of these colors, we can do so. I'm going to select this particular div in which this item lives. Go ahead and apply a new background color. You will have access to the color spectrum. Please note also this can be hidden from particular role types, and you can present only the advanced palette. This means essentially colors that have been set and determined by an admin to ensure a consistent brand look and feel across the board. Let's say I want to go ahead and make that Loree blue. We can select that field and note that that's Loree blue now. Previously we'd linked this, the link still remains. You can select that, you can go ahead and remove the link, apply a new one, what have you. At the top here, we're not teaching Year 5 SOS, we're teaching digital literacy. We can go ahead and double click that and update this to a new banner image. We can conduct a search of the different banners available to us. I'm going to go ahead and use our Loree general one here. We'll go ahead and tag that as decorative, hit add, and that's going to update. If the image that you select is smaller, you may need to select it via the left-hand navigation. You can go and navigate to size and ensure the full width is ticked. That had been the style that was already applied beforehand, so the image I selected stretched to that full width as well. Now we can go ahead and hit save to LMS, knowing that we've applied a bit of a template, move some content around, successfully saved toast there. This is what we had before. We'll go ahead and hit refresh. And that's going to insert that new template for us. We've got our new banner at the top. We've got our image to the right, text and header to the left. We've got a background color that had been applied in the template shared with us. Here are our icon navigations. We've got our course overview here with the linked icon. That's going to open a new tab as per the setting we've set. And here is that page that navigates to. So you can see a couple of different items there as well on one of those other pages. Say that we're not happy with this multi-column design and we think, you know what, the image is really small, I don't have a long one to place to fill that out a bit more. We can go ahead and make that change even with content present. So we can select the row here and we can say, you know what, I actually want that all to go to a single column. It's going to stack all the items into one for you so you won't lose anything. So we've got our digital literacy there. We've got our image. That's a really large image. Obviously, it's occupying the full width. We can go ahead and select that. We can manipulate its size. So in this instance, we may just want to make it 350 pixels, and then we can go ahead and align that center. We can save to LMS and see that change that's been applied here. So we went from double column to single column because we weren't really happy with the image placement. There's our image resize centered. So it's that easy to go ahead and manipulate already existing content. That's how you can easily insert templates and start to edit them. Again, remember, text editing happens in situ. And then we have the introduction of our elements. I've touched on a couple, so things like images. We've looked at some of the navigations in the previous templates that I shared, but all of the elements are available to us here via the left-hand navigation. Note, tables, dividers. We support embedding of documents as inline as well. We've got video, audio, images, variety of text options there. Any of these, or the majority of these that you select, I should say, you'll note that a secondary tray opens. It gives you a couple of different predetermined and pre-styled ways of using that particular element. So you can see some have been split into multi-columns, some are there with text overlay, what have you. The other item I wanted to draw your attention to was our Loree Interactives. Loree Interactives gives you the opportunity to build upwards of 9 interactive or layout-based elements without any code that you can easily embed within your course for your learners to engage with. Now, note when I've opened that, the default view is a library of interactives I've already created in the past for easy embed. In this instance, I'm going to go up to our Create New and walk you through that experience. So this is an example of some of those interactive components that you can create. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and create an accordion. So we can go ahead and name that. This is called a demo fun times, because I'm assuming we're all having a really fun time. Down here is item 1. We can go ahead and then populate that with some really wonderful content. So in this instance, I have some content that I've pre-prepared. Just copy and paste it in, just some lorem ipsum to fill out the page. There we go. We can now add a new section. This is going to be item 2, for example. We can add additional content. Within these accordion expanded areas, we can add images, media, you can add tables, you can link to external sources or add an image that you link. And then we've also got the opportunity to customize them a little bit. So I'll show you a quick preview. This is what that particular interactive looks like out of the box with no customizations. Now we can navigate to the left-hand navigation here and update a couple of those items. Note that the default font style and size can be set by the admin portal, so that you're not needing to continuously navigate and style these with every new interactive that you build. Okay, let's head on down to alignment. We're going to center align that text. We're going to go ahead and make the font color of the accordion white and place a really nice dark contrast color in the back. So it could be something close to our Loree blue, for example. We can go ahead and apply a border to the open field, or the expanded tray, I should say. So in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and add one just to the left, so it creates a bit of a style item, and we'll go ahead and select a different blue color so that you can see some of those elements coming into play there. The border style here will just stick with solid. You can also apply a border radius. So if I wanted to round that out a bit, I could go ahead and apply a border radius. Let's do 2. And we'll update the icon as well. Default set to arrows. In this instance, we'll select plus minus. Okay, when we hit preview now, that's going to show us all of those changes we've made. Got our plus minus icon, center text, white on a dark blue Loree background. We've got our expanded accordion. You can see slightly rounded edges there within the expanded view, and our left-hand blue styled border. If we're happy with what we have, we hit create, we can go ahead and then embed that direct within our template where we were building. If we're in this mindset of we want to create a number of interactives in this workflow, you can head back and continue to build those whilst this workflow is open. In this instance, I want to embed this one I've created. Here it is, our little accordion. Under our image, we're really happy with that. We're going to go ahead and hit save to LMS once more. That's been successfully saved. Head on over to Canvas, no accordion. We'll hit refresh on our page here, and that's going to show us our accordion under our image exactly where we placed it. Note that that has been built in the space of a couple of minutes, again with zero code, as with everything in the editor. Having said that, for those who love to dabble or play with code, we do have that available to you. We will show you the element, the column in which it lives, row, page. You can manipulate HTML and CSS. Also export that from within this view. Again, that's for those who love to dabble in that space. I myself find code is a little bit like jumping jumping into the matrix. So I just love to work with the pre-built blocks, templates that have been shared with me that I can continue to manipulate to suit my particular offering. That has introduced you to the concept of Loree, to editing already existing content if you want to just play with the layout a little bit, all the way through to applying a template and moving it around entirely. It's introduced you to some of the elements that you've got available out of the box there that you can start working with, also to Loree Interactives, to linking, to manipulating colors, styles, what have you. At this point, I do want to take a moment and navigate on towards the admin portal. Now, please note that the admin portal, whilst available for all users, or I should say all institutions, is managed internally by the institution. So there is a Loree admin role that is created within Canvas. Anybody that you allocate to that role will see this admin portal icon or option available to them. Anyone who does not have access will not see that. The admin portal kicks off with a little bit of a dashboard view. So it's just going to show you some analytics. Note that our data is on the dummy end here, but you can see just at a quick view, users, templates, rows, elements, interactives, and such that have been created here. And it'll give you a little bit of an overview. So a really great way for an admin user to track usage and adoption internally. We do have our admin permissions, we have roles and features. This is where you can create particular roles within the organization that you may have and quite literally enable and disable different features and functions of the editor. So a really great way to, for example, for a teacher user, disable the code block, and for a designer user or a designer role, enable that so that it's available for use. You may wish to enable everything for everyone, and that will be entirely up to your institution. It gives you the opportunity there to flex and to customize that experience to meet your needs. That's then mapped back to your Canvas roles. We have the opportunity here to set what the fonts are that are available within the text editor. You can see that we have a Google font library that gives you access to many fonts. You can also upload your own custom font as well. You have the opportunity to configure some third-party tools. So in this instance, we do support the configuration of Canvas Studio, of external tools like H5P, also Cultura, and that means that within the Loree design workflow, you can actually fetch that media and embed it in and amongst your design, I should say. So streamlining that workflow so you're not needing to navigate to different tools after you wrap up your build with Loree. We have support for Loree themes, and this allows you to customize and set what that theme looks like across all of your designs. There's a little bit of a preview there that's going to show you where and how those colors are going to apply to some of those core elements. We've got our color groups. This is, I touched on before, you can set a brand color palette that you saw within the color picker. This is where that functionality lives. So great one-time setup, and then all of your users have that consistent experience. We've got managing our Loree Interactives, our categories, which is the way that you save templates into groups. And then we've got our custom blocks. So this is where you can see all of the templates that are built by all of your users over time. And from this workflow, an admin user can come on in and determine which particular templates are going to be set to global, meaning that everyone across the institution can see them. They're able to preview what that template design looks like within this workflow as well, just to jog their memory or say, yep, this is the one that I really love and I'm happy with. They can, of course, also navigate to different devices and see how that content will scale as well within this view. So that gives them the freedom and flexibility to check that, to check the designs and to validate, yep, that's the one that we want to go ahead and share as part of best practice across our whole institution. Sharing can also happen at a sub-account level, I should note. That means that you can set and share templates at a particular faculty or year level, or however it is that you structure your sub-accounts within your institution. That just about wraps up this brief demo here. Of course, if you want to ask any further questions, feel free to contact us beyond this point, and we can book in a face-to-face session, walk over any of the demo live that you feel is relevant to yourselves, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for watching.